We finally made it to Illinois on old Route 66, our 8th and final state of this trip. It's some of the most beautiful scenery on God's green earth, and there's tons to see along the old Mother Road. And in fact, I guess I should say the old Mother Road, because for a lot of the southern part of Route 66 in Illinois, there are two completely different paths you can take. And depending on which path or combination of paths you choose, no two trips to Illinois' Route 66 will be the same. But I think today we're going 1926 to 1940 because there's one epic attraction down here that I don't want to miss. And here it is, we're back at Rich Henry's Rabbit Ranch. When Rich Henry bought this property, he originally didn't even know it was along Route 66. Obviously, as you can see, he was very into trucking and all that. When he found out that it was part of Route 66, he thought, maybe we should open some kind of attraction here. But it wasn't until 1999 when his daughter Emily called him and said, my rabbit had babies and I can't keep him in this apartment, that the light bulb finally went off. And Rich Henry's property became Henry's Rabbit Ranch. Now you've heard of Cadillac Ranch, but it always surprises me how few people know there's a rabbit ranch. And it's probably because Route 66 is so confusing here. Not only is there the split that I showed you earlier, it actually splits again back there, and this is the 1930 to 40 portion of Route 66, and there's a 1926 to 30. Oh, it splits in a lot of ways. There are 3 parallel Route 66s over here. Look at this. This is actually genius. You see the Volkswagen rabbits are in the ground, much like Cadillac Ranch, but unlike Cadillacs, rabbits huddle together for safety. That's why these rabbits are so tightly bonded. If you're anything like my son London, who's with me on this trip, you probably never heard of a Volkswagen rabbit. I guess you got to be of a certain age to remember these things going down the road. But here they are, all huddled together for warmth and safety on the Rabbit Ranch. And Rich has got a cool collection of old Campbell trucking trailers out here, which their motto was obviously humpin' to please, because humpin' means just to hurry, by the way. So Campbell trucking, Camel truck, sounded close, right? They got the 66, so you'll see these humpin' to please trailers sometimes along Route 66. That's the origin there for you. But remember, I said this place started with some adopted baby bunnies, and so it's not just Volkswagen rabbits at the ranch. If you're lucky enough for Rich to be home and you head over here into his mock Route 66 gas station, you just might see a bunny or two. If you're lucky. Rich is the coolest, friendliest, chattiest guy inside of his little station. There's all kinds of gifts. There's also a huge Campbell trucking collection. It's because Rich's dad was sort of a well-known legendary trucker. Rich has been in trucks since he was born. He was driving trucks down the highway, became a huge Campbell fan because, of course, the Route 66 connection, and he has just about the largest collection out of anybody in the world, he thinks. There's one bunny in here today, Cheyenne, a little rescue bunny with the long hair. They kind of have matching haircuts going on. He said there's a few in the house. At one point, though, he had 49 rabbits at the same time at this place. And there have been a total of 86 over the years. Rich Henry sort of turned into a Route 66 icon, and he has another Route 66 icons Volkswagen right here. This was Bob Waldmeyer's car. Bob was a big-time illustrator that drew tons of classic Route 66 postcards. He owned the Hackberry General Store for a while. We'll learn about him more a little further down the road. And if you come out here and for some reason Rich isn't here, don't miss what's behind the little gas station, because there's more to this place than meets the eye at first. Back around the side of the building, you have the graveyard of those of the 89 bunnies that have been here who have passed. And one bunny who's never going to be hopping away. Would you look at the size of this rabbit? Would you look at the size of this rabbit? He's gargantuan. This guy's even bigger than the hare at the Jackrabbit Trading Post out west. Rich got this one because after he visited Wall Drug, a place where we just filmed an episode not too long ago, and saw their giant rabbit out there, or is it a jackalope? Oh my gosh, I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to watch my own episode again. He thought, oh, I need me one of those. Side note for all you parents out there, it is really fun making your teenage, almost grown man, but still surly teenage son crawl on top of giant rabbits and take pictures and go, come on, thumbs up, arms up, rodeo style, let's do this. Even I have mixed success, but he's having a good time. Oh, I remember Destiny. Destiny was here last time. I was at the Rabbit Ranch. Destiny was on Randomland. This place is the coolest. I mean, if you didn't think rabbits were cool, well, you were wrong. And the Campbell trucking stuff is an added bonus. I mean, I know, most people that think of Route 66 don't think about trucking, but think about the guys who actually traveled that highway the most. It wasn't tourists. When Route 66 was active, nobody was thinking, isn't it great that we're on Route 66? They were thinking, I gotta get to Chicago, I gotta get to LA, I gotta get to Tucumcari. Oh, I get it. It's a radiator on springs. Yes, it was well promoted when it first started all the way back in 1926. It was catchy and had an aura about it, That's why so many companies, Phillips 66 and Campbell Trucking, would name parts of their company after it. But for most people, most of the time, Route 66 was an active, connected U.S. highway. It was just a road. But to the truckers, they're like, nice. It's nice to be back on old 66. Those truckers probably knew the mother road better than we ever could. Speaking of Route 66, I guess we better get back on the road. All right, well, we actually cut across town a little ways to go to the twisting and turning 1926 route. See how in 1926 it made all these crazy turns, and by 1930 they smoothed it out over by Henry's. Then by the 1950s they smoothed it out by eliminating lots of towns that used to be on the route entirely. Anyways, we're doing all this to go through the little town of Staunton, which is right next to Henry's Rabbit Ranch. Dude, and just look at Main Street here in Staunton, Illinois. Some guys can't stop themselves from falling in love with every old car they see. Some guys can't stop themselves from falling in love with every woman they meet and fantasizing about that. I can't stop myself from falling in love with every little small town I go through and fantasizing about what it'd be like to live there, or restore some old buildings there and stuff like that. Maybe that's why I love Route 66 so much. It's the main street of America. You get to see a lot of small towns, and I guess we better hurry up. We'd better hit the road because we have a lot more to see today and a lot more confusing splits between different routes of Route 66, but we're headed down the highway now, not far, to the outskirts of Mount Olive. And look at this beautiful place right off the highway. This is an old favorite of mine. This is Soulsby's service station. And this is the perfect example of the kind of opportunities that Route 66 coming through a tiny town like Mount Olive here could bring. Henry Soulsby was a miner who got injured and it seemed like he was going to be out of luck, out of work, but the highway brought the opportunity for him to build this service station, which his children later ran. I think his son used to operate it as a TV repair business after the highway moved away. This place was actually open into the 90s, so it wasn't abandoned long. And as you can see, it's been beautifully restored. There's all kinds of local history inside and great pieces of the past to see and some little merchandise and knickknacks and very friendly people to talk to. Although today, there's no friendly faces in here but ours. This is really weird. This could only happen on Route 66 in a small town in America. No one's in here, but the door's unlocked, the open sign is out, and look at this. You can just walk around, the donation box is out, and all this amazing stuff is in here. True, there are cameras, and I mean, there's plenty of locals who are watching over the place from the outside. This is a total small town, no need to lock your door situation. Man, I always feel like I was born a little too late, because I love seeing all the old collectibles, right? And not just the old oil cans and all that stuff, but look at that. Look at some of these crazy old collectibles and maps. Beautiful old vintage shell sign. Well, actually numerous vintage shell signs in here. And it's like by the time I came along and started to really appreciate all this stuff and doing all the videos about it and everything, the price for this stuff was way crazy. I'd love to own old oil cans and gas pumps and, like things like that. Beautiful old vintage signs and stuff, but they are just so hard to get now. TV shows and auctions have made the prices go like crazy. Like, look at this. Even just look at the oil. Look at all these beautiful, look at the graphics on that. I mean, that is gorgeous stuff. Okay, there's something I've never seen before. Look at that. Shell Oil Company's first aid kit. They have those in all the stations. Look at that, 30 years. This was a Shell station for a heck of a long time, man. Look at those beautiful original uniforms right there. This is incredible. Yeah, all this type of stuff, I'd love to own it. The prices have gone insane. We use plastic jugs today, but I'm old enough to remember when people used oil cans. But look at this. That's what they used even before that. These glass things with the little metal spigots. That's how you got your oil. And that's how you stayed warm in the station in the winter. Oh, look at that. If you leave a donation, you can take a pen. Leave a donation in there. It's incredible because this is one of the oldest gas stations on Route 66. Obviously, it started the same year as the highway. And you think, I mean, look how long Russell was here. Russell was here for all those years. Incredible the way this place has been restored. Well, I shouldn't say restored, right? It still has a lot of original character, but preserved and open as this local museum. It's free to visit whenever it's open. It happens to be open today, although I'm still weirded out that there's nobody in here. Last time I saw this place, there was someone in here like, "Hi, welcome." Nothing today, just silence. I actually kind of love that this is sort of self-guided at the moment. I'm just now picturing all the travelers that would have come through here that needed motor oil or a belt or just had a friendly conversation, needed a soda pop. What an incredible legacy for this place to have all this here, open for visitors, coming down the highway. This is the kind of thing that makes me love, you know, this town. Not just this town, this whole highway. This is the kind of thing that makes you want to stop. You could stop. Nobody's gonna bother you. You can check everything out, soak in a little atmosphere. You feel like this place is here for you in a way. You know what? In a way it is. It opened in 1926 for highway travelers on Route 66. And that's what we're doing. We're traveling this old section of Route 66, and here we are. That's the neat thing, you know, it's not like some museum. Ah, this was a dentist office and it closed, and now you're looking at it. Oh, neat, I can look at the past. No, you're part of the past, because you're still traveling down the same route. You are a traveler. The nature of this may have changed from gas station to attraction or museum, but you as the traveler are still the reason that this stuff is here. Look at how long this little service lift has been here, that a tree not only grew up inside of it, but started to grow over it. Weird. All right, back in the Route 66 mobile. As we're headed down the road, not too far away. It's not too long between all these towns. We're going from Mount Olive up to Litchfield. Dude, and what's amazing is between Mount Olive and Litchfield, you're driving on a more recent section of Route 66 when the highway was so wide, it had 4 lanes. It was a divided highway, and half of it, because it's, you know, not as busy these days, has become a ghost road, just out of reach over the ditch from the main highway. I bet there's tons of people who pass by and go, "What is that over there?" It's a ghost road, man. That is old Route 66. I love seeing that stuff. I mean, I totally get why some people would be like, huh? Who cares? But there's something about walking on a ghost road I can't explain unless you give it a try. Something about connecting with the past, although this isn't historically accurate because this would have been so busy. This would be like standing in the middle of the freeway, you know? All right, anyway, we're making our way to Litchfield along the side of the old ghosts of Route 66. All right, welcome to the outskirts of Litchfield, Illinois, and look at this beautiful old filling station. That sort of classic little cottage look. I believe this was built in 1936 and replaced an earlier 1929 wooden building. And look at this next door, probably a little more famous. It's the cafe. This place was built by Vincenzo and Albina Carola. I'm not sure how they pronounce their last name, because in America you could pronounce that a lot of different ways. Carola, Cerola, Cerola. You know, my mother's maiden name is Finazzo, but back in Sicily it would be Finazzo. But the point is, it was opened back in the 1930s. Their kids later took it over, and the Cerola's Cafe turned into the Belvedere Motel. That's what it's called now. They built a little motel wing here facing old Route 66. That's where our car is across the street. But interestingly, when they built the bigger, wider 1950s Route 66, it actually ran behind the property. So this thing is surrounded on 2 sides with Route 66, and all they did was simply turn around and reorient the entrance to the business, focusing a little bit more on the motel side of things. Today, the cafe is sitting empty, but there's actually a for rent sign on it. So if you want to move out to Litchfield, start a cool Route 66 business in time for the 100th, might be able to save a piece of history. Litchfield is very confusing. A lot of roads converge right here, including 2 routes of old Route 66. There's a couple of great gems here. Like, look at this, the Ariston Cafe, open since 1929 in this location, opened by a Greek immigrant named Pete Adam. It was family owned all the way up until just a few years ago when it was sold to a local family. It's been continuously operating, and it's one of, if not the oldest continually operating restaurant and cafe on Route 66. The original location, which was on an older part of Route 66, opened up in 1924, which means this place has been in business for 100 years. That's a big deal out here. And then check this out, right across the street, right across old Route 66, is this? The Litchfield Museum and Route 66 Welcome Center. Oh, wow, look at this and check it out. Admission is free. Wow, it's already more elaborate than I thought it was gonna be. Look at this old ladder. Oh my gosh, a 1950 Western Flyer. I want one. Oh my gosh, this place is incredible. Look at all the local history. Look at all the Route 66 history. I mean, they won my heart by having an old bicycle right when I walked in. It's got everything you need to know. And more that you didn't even know you wanted to know about Litchfield. So many pieces from local businesses that were located along Route 66. Wow, look at this old grocery stores. The Chili Man can. Oh my gosh, look at that Model A. Now, I've always wanted a Model A. I don't think I'm an old car guy, though. I'm not mechanical enough to keep an old car running. That's why I switched to old bicycles, and that is a Schwinn Phantom right there. That is another one of my bucket list bicycles. Someday, Jennifer, someday. There's some Bob Waldmeyer art. Keep Bob Waldmeyer in your brain for later. Lots of cool photo ops in here. There's some old Campbell trucks, lots of books, license plates, Route 66 paraphernalia. It's Bob. It's Bob Waldmeyer. He's from Illinois, so he did a lot of stuff here. These are those old postcards I was talking about. And he also did some that are like super heavily illustrated on the back. He did lots of these Route 66 maps, so later when we're talking about him, remember that I showed you all this stuff. Look at that. That was Bob's last car. See, that's one of his postcards. Dude, that is a great sign right there. That's incredible. I love that. Man, there's so much more stuff in here than I was expecting. The World Wars. A lot of Route 66 history involving the wars. Ooh, there's a hand-painted Bob Waldmeyer map of Route 66. That is cool. Darn, they wouldn't let me ride the bike, but they were really friendly. Well, check this out. We got our first piece of Centennial merch on this trip. Now the winds are picking up, so we're gonna pick up too, but we're going cross country. We're cutting across to the west to a different alignment of Route 66 to follow up. We're headed to Carlinville, Illinois, the back way. All right, welcome to Carlinville, founded in 1828. And nearly 100 years later, in 1926, Route 66 came to town, but only for 4 years. Carlinville was bypassed early in 1930, which is a shame because look at this. This is the Macoupin County Courthouse, otherwise known as the $1 Million Courthouse. Look at that, it was opened in 1870. It cost $1.3 million back then to make. 43 pages of Lincoln's handwritten law documents were found here, and I'm talking about President Abraham Lincoln. Oh, that's right, Abraham Lincoln was here in Carlinville, obviously before this building was built. This is a seriously impressive building, you guys. This is nuts that in 1870, this is what you got for $1 million. And my landlord's house, or the house I rent, is worth $1 million in California today, and can pretty much fit on these stairs. Now, most Route 66 guides and travelers will focus on the $1 Million Courthouse, but look at this across the street. The Macoupin County Jail, built in 1869, is open for tours. Dude, this looks like one gnarly place to be banged up. And now it's also a welcome center for Route 66. Oh good, London's on the side of the law. He's on the right side of the law. I guess I'm the prisoner today. See what's going on in here. Whoa. Okay, this is cool because of course, the sheriffs and everybody are right across the street, and therefore the Cannonball Jail, as it's called, is open for self-guided tours, which is always better. Of each stone were hollowed out and a cannonball placed in the joint. This prevented a prisoner from chiseling around a stone and popping it out as a way to escape. Okay, Cannonball Jail. So there's cannonballs in the walls like this. All right, that's weird. Oh my gosh. You can take a mug shot fun pic. I'm gonna do that on the way out. Oh, London's already going upstairs. Dude, this is awesome. This is crazy. I mean, the fact that this is self-guided. Look at this prison cell in here. You can see where there's like all these places where there would have been iron bars dividing this. Like iron bunks maybe put into the walls. There's all these little marks here. Look at this. This is awesome. Oh, here's the main cell block. Look at this. This must be where the guys ate. Check that out. This is a tight squeeze in here. This reminds me of the jail from the Goonies in Astoria, Oregon. You can go in the old county jail behind that courthouse. Oh, look at the bunks. Dang, dude, they really didn't want anyone to escape. I mean, how many guys were escaping from jails? Gosh, London's upstairs, so I'm all alone down here right now. And It's a little bit freaky. The more you walk around, kind of the freakier it gets. Can you see the weird shared toilet between the cells? Right there in the bunks. This whole time, look it, could open the door. Oh man, double sets of iron bars just to get in here. Dude, we went to prison on Route 66, guys. Oh, snap. There we go, look at those. All those cells in one shared toilet sink combination. Dude, it would suck to be in this cell right here. That's the stinky cell. Man, this is freaky. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows, but shut up. Hey, give me a break. Gotta do something to pass the time in here. Wow. Dude, look at this. I didn't even notice in the front lobby. There's a trap door down here that leads to the hell hole. You'd be removed to the hell hole if you cause trouble. It's a cell in the basement on the dirt floor. Yikes. All right, let's see what's upstairs now. Apparently, this was the only female cell. Hey, what the heck? The female cell, they get their own bed, they get a bathtub. Look, a whole bathtub. Oh my gosh, their own toilet. My gosh, these ladies were in this cell. Not at the same time, but still. That's crazy. Look at me. I'm a lady. 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 Let's get out of here. Wow. This is weird because it says second floor cell area, no entry. But the light switch is there and the door is unlocked. So, are we not allowed to entry? Or was that for the prisoners? Well, I don't want to get locked in here by the real sheriff, so maybe we won't risk it. Oh, this is what it meant. This was the jailer's residence. He had his own little residence here. This was his sort of parlor. And then you can see there was a stairway going up to another floor. That was probably all his. Dude, imagine all you'd have to do is just you and all your buddies in there and make a whole bunch of noise all night. Drive the jailer insane. Oh man, but if you did that, you'd end up in the hellhole. Wait a minute, I was singing in prison today. What did I do? Ha! What didn't I do? I lied, and I stole, and I never got caught neither. And one day I'm gonna break out of here, and then I'll be doing crimes all over Route 66, up and down the highway. One crime after another. I might keep the clothes though, because I think they look kind of cool. What do you think? Hey, those are the most. Hey, babe. Alright, this is the jailbreak. We gotta get out of here before they put us in the hellhole. Let's get out of here. Dude, alright, this is where Route 66 makes a hard right turn into the town square. And look at this, dude. There's the most epic town square surrounding a central plaza with a gazebo. All I hear in my head right now is Mr. Sandman. I'm thinking total Back to the Future. They should have put the $1 Million Courthouse right here. Look at this, it's beautiful. Oh, there's a little Chinese food place in the corner right there that says Panda. For a second I thought it was the world's cutest Panda Express. Look at this, this is like Marceline, Missouri. This is like old Mickey Mouse cartoons with the band concert. This is classic Main Street USA on overdrive. No need to go to Disneyland for Main Street USA. Come to Carlinville. This is my first time here actually, because I went a different way on old Route 66 last time. This is gorgeous. Look at this, where are the Dapper Dans? Where's Mickey Mouse? We're on Main Street USA. Dude, there's little law offices over here, historic treasures, even an AT&T store and a Subway. And this town square was the site of the original courthouses, like the ones that Abraham Lincoln was at. First courthouse was obviously a log courthouse. This is a little replica right here. Look at the size of this gazebo. I could put on a concert here. I could sing. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Oh, Dr. Zaius. Dude, I imagine when Route 66 came through here, you had all your bars. That might have been a big old hotel over there. Look at the size of that building. Wonder what's in there upstairs today. And there's an antique mall over here. Your small town hardware store. This place right here, this was the original site of the Ariston Cafe, which pre-existed Route 66. So this is where it started 100 years ago. Check this out. Doesn't get much more Main Street USA than Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Mr. Lincoln was here. He probably sat on this bench. Just think of it. Abraham Lincoln could have eaten at this Chinese food restaurant or gotten bubble tea right here. Dude, kind of hurts to leave Carlinville. But if I had to stay in the jail, no thanks. Suckered into the antique store. Can't miss a good antique store. Look at those goose right there. Look at them geese. Take a gander at them geese over there, boy. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, this is coming home with me. Ooh. Hello, ma'am.
Well, hello, welcome to Carlinville. You gonna stay long?
Regina, how could you?
Well, I can't help it if I see a handsome man come in who's a stranger to be friendly.
My heart is broken.
Yoink. Dang, look at all the old maps. Get some 66 treasures on 66. Drink chocolate soldier. Sounds gross. Dude, that was awesome. These are the places that are so hard to leave because they're so cute and everybody talks to you and they're so amazing, but we have so much more to see today in this weird weather, this weird lighting today. London and I have got to start heading west again and start heading home soon. You could do Route 66 in 2 weeks if you're really just mostly looking out the windows, doing a few stops, or you could do a whole 3-month trip. There's that much to see along the path of old Route 66. Just saying this to prepare any of you that want to come out and do the trip either before or during or right after the 100th anniversary celebration coming up in 2026. Every day, it's a pick your battle situation. You gotta pick. What do you want to stop at? What do you want to not stop at? And I'm not really that personality type. I'm not really much of a planner, so things happen sort of randomly here, but you cannot see it all on one trip. You gotta let that go, and it's hard. And just embrace what is. All right, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Look at this. We've turned away from main Route 66 because this is an old original 1926 alignment. You start to recognize that old pavement after a while and you can go, oh my gosh, this is original early 1920s paving. The thing is, look at this. We're heading this way where these huge rainstorms are coming and they're going to be battering the landscape all night in the direction we're going towards Springfield, Illinois tonight. So we're kind of in a hurry. We're trying to beat the rain, see some scenery, but look at this beautiful 1926 alignment. We gotta check that out. And we're taking the slow way to cruise into the town of Nillwood over here. Beautiful little country town in Illinois. Not because it helps us to beat the weather, not because it helps us get to where we want to go before it starts raining, because I don't know if you like this, but rain and cameras don't always get along, but because it's fun. We're out here having fun. And if it costs us some of the stuff we wanted to do out of the car when it's raining later, well then, oh well, that's just part of the adventure. Dude, I'm loving this section of the road. There are so many little back roads, old 1926 alignments. Absolutely gorgeous countryside, gorgeous little farms. See all those right angles? Those are all the original 66, then they were replaced by this smooth line here. I mean, Nillwood's not much to write home about, but you could take these little back roads pretty much all the way from Nillwood to Gerard, the next town up. And it's incredible, man. I love it back here on these little roads. Dude, this scenery isn't just what you miss when you take the interstate. This is what you miss when you just take the main historic 66. The by roads sometimes are the best roads. Gerard's cute. It's home of the Whirl-A-Whip right on 66. Some cute architecture. The real attraction is, once again, this little business district, this little downtown. There's so many possibilities here. Lots of old buildings that could use restoration. Some people would say, oh, look at all the sad decay. I say, dude, look at all the possibilities here. You're only a few hours away from big cities, and you're close to a pretty popular Route 66 attraction, Docks off 66. Or should I say, Docks just off 66 soda fountain. Also, Gerard is home to these buildings. That right there in the middle window is the scariest Christmas angel ever out of context. And then to the right is Elsa. I couldn't recognize what it was for a while, and that was terrifying. Dude, out of context, Elsa is scary. Dude, this place has been here since 1884. It's a pharmacy, general store, soda fountain. The soda fountain part dates all the way back to 1929. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is incredible. Look at all the old drugstore stock they've got in here in the dining room. Look at the old cigars down there. You got the old Indian, you got the old pipes, all the tobacco tins and all the medicine. Ugh, cod liver oil. Ramon's brownie pills. Oh, look at all the old perfumes and everything. Dude, they have so much old original stuff. Wow, liniment oil. This is crazy. Crazy. Ooh, looks like they also have a little bit of gambling going on in the back. Don't tell the sheriff. Dude, Docks is incredible inside. There's so much old original stuff. You can get a Route 66 cake pop or a Route 66 soda, a float. Look at that old milkshake mixer. Dude, and next door in the seating area in Deck's drugstore. This is kind of incredible. I mean, Gerard's looking a little rough around the edges outside. There's amazing history here. Oh my gosh, they're making custom make sodas, old-timey. They're mixing it like a scientist. Oh, that is so sick. Okay, that rules. Dude, they will also hand mix you an old-timey soda with carbonation from the soda fountain from the original syrup. I went for the cherry root beer. I'm about to try it right now. London went crazy. You're going for chocolate Sprite. No one's ever had a chocolate Sprite before. This is gonna be interesting. Ooh.
And we buy the syrup from like Coke, and instead of just connecting it to the machine, we just rip over the bags.
And then you put the carbonation through there?
Yep.
And then she hand mixes it, and that's a chocolate Sprite. And now we find out what it's like. Is it good?
It's not terrible.
Really? Is it weird?
Yeah.
But you would actually drink that again?
Yeah.
No way, chocolate Sprite. You might have just invented something here. You might have just invented Doc's new classic. So let me try this, hold on. That is really, honestly, surprisingly not nasty. That's okay. It's weird, but it's okay. Okay, I gotta wash this down. Some cherry, what is it? Cherry root beer, that's what it was. Of course, Mr. Sandman would start playing. I always want to say Enter Sandman. Of course, Enter Sandman would start playing. Dude, that was awesome. Like I said, Gerard, a little rough around the edges. Once you get into docks, like, you kind of sit in there for a few seconds, and then all of a sudden, you're transported back in time. I love places like that. And that was rad that they had so much of the old drugstore stuff in there. That was amazing. All right, the wind is actually kind of howling now and picking up force. We're getting gusty breezes and everything. So we're gonna move along down the road because the storms are actually starting to gather in the distance and come towards us. All right, well, things started to get a little windy, a little rainy, a little moist as we pulled out of the last town. We cruised through another town called Verdon by car, which is a pretty nice looking place. Then up through there, finally up past Auburn. And luckily, the wind has blown this little arm of rain that was over us away now, I think. And now it's safe to emerge to check out one of the most interesting, awesome, amazing, and most misunderstood portions of Route 66. Because this part of the Mother Road is paved with brick. Oh, that's right. You heard me correctly. You can see it with your own eyes. This part of Route 66 is paved with brick. It's a brick road. It's Brick 66. Just north of Auburn, Illinois, this little old section of highway was part of the original 1926 Route 66. It actually goes down for quite a ways, as you'll see in a second, and it's one of the most beautiful little, I mean, it's rainy, it's cloudy, it's kind of ugly outside today, and it's still just gorgeous down this road. All of this brick was hand laid. This is 1.4 miles, almost a mile and a half of bricks on Route 66. It was laid down in 1931, placed over the concrete roadbed, and tons of travelers on old Route 66 come here to see the original brick alignment and to take their photos out here. And who could blame them? I mean, how picturesque is this? A brick road? Follow the red brick road. Follow the red brick road. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Follow the Route 66 brick road of Auburn. Follow the Route 66. That doesn't work either. But you get it, right? Like a brick highway. People coming out to see that. Wow, it's part of the original 1926 Mother Road, covered in brick in 1931. And if you've been paying attention, there's the twist. Because you guys remember earlier today, I told you that Route 66 splits into multiple places over here because there was a 1926 through 30 alignment like this. Then there was a 1930 to 40 alignment. And then after 1940, it had different alignments. Well, this road north of Auburn here was only Route 66 from 1926 to 1930. And if you were listening carefully, you'll remember I said this brick was laid down in 1931. I mean, this is brick. This was Route 66. And even though it's known as Brick 66, unfortunately, what most of the guides gloss over is that when this was actually US Route 66, it wasn't covered with bricks at all. The bricks were actually laid over that original concrete. You can still see the original concrete sides of the road, the sort of raised curbstone, if you will, and it was paved with brick starting in 1931, and it was original Route 66, so it's legit, but yeah, there's just a little twist to the story you don't often hear told. It is beautiful out here. One of my favorite spots to kind of check out and see a little scenic piece of driving. I mean, I'm used to only seeing brick streets in theme parks or old historic districts, not out in the middle of beautiful farm country surrounded by cornfields. But super surreal. It is like something from a movie. Brick 66. So even though the bricks may not have been here, you know, in 1927 when it was old Route 66, it's still worth coming out and having a drive. Come get your kicks on Brick 66. Oh, just don't kick a brick on Route 66. Maybe pick a brick though, so somebody doesn't run over that. Dude, I love it. Super ugly weather today, and still this section of Route 66 is gorgeous. Brick 66, just north of Auburn, Illinois. And now, guys, we got to jet down the highway because the sun is going down, I think, behind these clouds. And there's somewhere we must reach before our adventure can end. All right, gang, if there's a pink elephant drinking a martini, you know you've rolled in to Springfield. No, not Springfield, Missouri. That's the completely wrong Springfield, right, Jumbo? The way you know which Springfield it is by looking down there at the license plate. Springfield, Illinois! And Springfield, Illinois. Boy, would you look at the size of that cocktail. Kind of looks like fake Tyler a little bit, right? With the glasses. Ah, never mind. Anyway, the real storm is coming. It's gonna start raining and pouring tonight. So this is as good a place as any to hunker down. Springfield, Illinois, and London is getting hungry, and he's in luck because Route 66, which has multiple alignments through Springfield, is actually sort of the public origin point of a world-famous fast food delicacy, or I should say, the Cozy Dog. Look at this place, the Cozy Dog Drive-In. Oh, that's right, the corn dog comes from Springfield, Illinois. This place was owned by Ed Waldmeyer back in the day, and it was him and an army buddy that came up with the idea for and the recipe for the corn dog. They had to find just the right batter to make the cornbread batter actually stick to the hot dog on the stick. They used to serve them up to buddies in the army and call them crusty curs. Well, when they perfected the recipe and decided to sell them to the public, Ed's wife didn't think crusty cur sounded very good at all. And so the Cozy Dog, and therefore the Cozy Dog Drive-In, was born. Now, the original Cozy Dog was operated out of their house. This location opened up in 1996, but it is the direct successor of the original Cozy Dog, and they still serve up that original recipe right here on Route 66. So London is gonna finish our adventure today by having an original corn dog. Wait, Cozy Dog, I mean Cozy Dog. By the way, you heard me talking about the Cozy Dog's co-inventor, Ed Waldmeyer, and this business owner. He was the father of Bob Waldmeyer. And look at that hand-painted Bob Waldmeyer map on the outside. Well, you're gonna see a lot more in there. Oh yeah. Dude, I love it in here because even though this isn't the original location, they've moved it. Look at all the hand-painted stuff by Bob Waldmeyer. Obviously, he admired his dad and his dad's invention. There's so much historical information in here. It's almost like a little museum, and there's a little bit of that mom and pop collectible feel. Lots of pieces of history from the family. Everything from original menus to, look at this, the original little basket to hold your thing in, little membership cards and ID cards, the old school bumper stickers. I hope they haven't phased this one out because that's the one I love the most. And as amazing as it is that this is the original home of what we call the corn dog, although don't call it a corn dog here, guys, please don't do it, trust me. It never became a chain. It never became a McDonald's or a Taco Bell. It's still just Route 66 or Springfield's own Cozy Dog Drive-In. It smells so good in here, and I would really like to eat a Cozy Dog myself, but of course, I have celiac disease, and so most food is out of the question for me entirely, much less on the road while traveling. Luckily, so far, London is in very good health and able to eat normal people food, so London's the one who's going to be getting the original Cozy Dog. Meanwhile, I'm over here looking at the merch like, heck yeah. I may not be able to eat it, but that doesn't mean I can't be a fan of it, right? Oh, I love that. That is so true. Uh-oh. I think I'm gonna spend my life savings on Cozy Dog merch because their merch game is so strong. They found these original Cozy Dog food bags in storage. These are from the 60s. Holy cow. Look at that, there's Bob Waldmeyer's business card. He's gone now. You know, he's no longer alive, but that's so cute that they've kind of kept him out here. Oh, it's like a memorial. Oh boy, I see Cozy Dog slippers. Oh boy. Oh, look at these on the actual counter for the merch. These are the posters I was talking about that Bob Waldmeyer used to make. And there's the Illinois one. You can see how dense they are. They're all handwritten and illustrated. And they've got all this historical information. They're just the most cool souvenir you could possibly get of anywhere. And he's done Route 66 maps like that. He's done so much different stuff. Here's all those famous Route 66 postcards. Like I said, he lived at Hackberry for a while. He was friends with just every business owner on Route 66 because he would inevitably do something for them. And so that's why everybody who started a museum or anything, they're always preserving his memory. He was everybody's buddy. He was also, you know, kind of a hippie. And it's ironic because he's the son of the inventor of the corn dog, basically, which is crazy. Or the first purveyor, anyway. All right, London has ordered off the menu. He has just simply ordered one classic cozy dog. That is it, dude. The cozy dog. The original corn dog. Or as the sign says, it's better than a corn dog. Don't call it a corn dog. Let's just not call it a corn dog while we're in here so we don't get murdered. He's not even hungry, but here it comes. The pressure is on. Will he choke? Meaning succumb to pressure, not meaning physically choke. Please don't actually choke. That would be bad. Still too hot? It's very hot. It's fried. Fried batter is delicious. Oh, it's probably so good for you. Oh, it's like health food. I think the first dog plane. First bite plane, I mean. Still a little hot. Still a little hot. Okay, hold on. On tenterhooks, waiting for the review.
It tastes like a corn dog.
Is that bad?
It's a corn dog, I don't know.
It's not a corn dog. It's a cozy dog. Do you feel cozy? Feel cozy now? It's been a long day, everybody. We're tired. Does it taste cozy? Okay, alright. Seriously, is it good or bad or just normal? It's just normal. It's good. It's perfectly happy. Cozy dog. It's the originals. If you're into having the originals, then thumbs up. Why are you laughing now? I wish I could eat it. I can't eat it. It's better than what I could do. I mean, I could eat it. There would just be horrible consequences. I mean, Allie ate here and she liked it. I have never been able to eat here, but I've always liked coming in because of the family history. And, you know, it's a historical place on Route 66. There's so many artifacts in here. And I like the story. I mean, if it does taste like a normal corn dog, as London says, well, then I know what it tastes like. And I'm perfectly happy just smelling it, I guess. I'm so hungry. We just bought some merchandise from the proprietor. And now, I just noticed this. Old but weird stuff. Let me take a look. Okay. This is old but weird stuff, but it turns out it's all weird stuff clipped from the newspapers. So like, piranhas don't phase Brazilian bathers. Sociologists, what the heck? Look at this guy with an alligator. It is literally old but weird stuff. Well, what are you gonna do? All right, we have served our time today on old Route 66. Seen old places. We've met some friendly faces. London has had the original corn dog. Don't call it a corn dog, it's a cozy dog. And of course, right when the storm is supposed to be the craziest, the weather outside is perfect. I keep getting weather alerts though that it's supposed to be severe today, so we'll see. I really want to thank all of you for watching these adventures on Route 66. I know normally I go into a little more detail, but keep in mind I've got a 17-year-old in tow this time, and I'm learning a lot about the route. It's been a while since I've done it end to end like this. But this is also a recon mission for me for future Randomland episodes that are coming a lot sooner than the gap between my last series. Look at this. This is all we've done today, and this is all we have left. So we'll be on the route for at least one more day, possibly 2 more days. We're getting pretty close to the end of this journey. But wait a minute, we've got to make it all the way back to California. So stick with us because we're not quite home yet. If you enjoy these videos, please do me a favor. The #1 way, honestly, that you can help Randomland out and help keep the show on the road is to share it with 2 friends that you just think would enjoy these videos, enjoy this type of stuff. And then speaking of the road, if you want to go the extra mile, we have a Patreon. We've got our own sick merchandise. I just wrote a book called Tales from Randomland. If you want to check out any of that stuff, it's at randomland.com. That's where all the links are, social media, all that kind of stuff. One link, very easy to find, or down in the description and all that stuff. I really appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to know the reason you always hear YouTube people repeating the same things over and over again, well, look at my subscriber numbers. Look at the number of views on each video. It only shows it to a small percentage. So if you want to get something out there, you got to repeat it over and over again. Blame YouTube, not me. All I want to say is I really appreciate you guys sticking with us to the very end of this video. And we've done our duty. You can go home and sleep well. prison. Where's the train? Bro, now that's what I call a high-speed train. That footage was not sped up.